Hover telemark. So remember, the hover telemark does not change travel direction for the man. If we do a normal hover, it changes it by a quarter turn to the left, but a hover telemark is 1, 2, 3. So we end up in semi-closed, still facing diagonal line or wall, right where he started. And then we're going to do a cross pivot and a cross hover. So cross pivot, make sure you get that 3/4 revolution minimum. Full turn is better, but the cross pivot, you're both going to step through, and then you're going to pivot to sidecar. And then we're going to cross hover to semi. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's try. If I do a hover, now we're headed diagonal line and center. So when we do a cross pivot from here, it's a dang long ways around to get clear around here, because we did a hover. The reason it is a hover telemark is to keep you on that diagonal out. It gives you that quarter turn start so that you're not facing diagonal center. So when you do your hover telemark, you're facing diagonal line or wall. Don't turn it to face center, okay? And now when you do your hover, cross pivot, you've got a 3/4 turn to make, and you've got to get around, and it's a pivot. So you're going to step through, and now you're going to pivot 2 steps. Ladies, where are you going with the first step?
Forward between his feet.
Between his feet, and go as far as you can. And if he comes out like this, that's great. Okay? Pivot 2 to sidecar. And now our cross hover to semi. But you've got to get that pivot in there. And girls, I hate to tell you this, but if you're not stepping forward on that pivot, it's your fault that it's not happening. Reverse turn. Okay. In waltz means not closed. Okay? In this particular case, it's meaning that you're going to go to banjo, not closed position, and it means that your feet are going to be open. You're not going to close your feet. It's an open reverse turn. Reverse means left face turn. So we're going to take 3 steps, turning 1/4 to the left. So open reverse turn. 1. What happened to my open reverse turn? It didn't turn.
You said 1/4. I went 1/4.
You did not. You didn't turn at all.
I did.
Open reverse turn. 1, 2, 3.
I went more than 1/4.
Okay? So you did your quarter turn. What's that look like?
It's fine.
That makes it simple.
Okay? So all you have to do is up here, open reverse turn. First measure of a diamond turn. You got a split second to think about it. So open reverse turn. 1, 2, 3. It's not. Quit it. That's your open reverse turn. And then we're going to do a hover corte, if I remember right. Remember, the hover corte turns half. So we're going to step back, hovering up, and recover back into a corte. And he's facing diagonal line of dance on the wall, and we're in banjo position. So that's our hover corte. Mark. To banjo. So, the men don't have to change a thing. He's going to be doing the same footwork. However, he's going to have to change his timing and his lead because he wants the ladies to do a 3/4 heel turn and end up in banjo. Telemarked banjo, and you will also hear it cued as closed telemark. Old terminology. However, some people still use it, so if you hear closed telemark, that means that you're going to banjo. I don't know why, other than it's not open. Okay? So the ladies are going to step back and they do their heel turn. And he's going to have to elongate his second step just a little tiny bit to allow her a little bit more time to get around. She does her heel turn, but she's then going to transfer the weight over to the other foot, get onto the toes and push back. Okay? So telemarked banjo. 1, 2, 3. So I'm still doing the heel turn. But as he's coming across, I'm transferring that heel turn into a toe turn at the end of it in order to get all the way around. So telemarked banjo, 1, 2, 3. After you get about there, you're going to transfer to the toes so that you can push off and get the rest of the turn into the banjo position. Because if the ladies stay on her heels, it won't work. Okay? So we'll do our telemark to banjo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And you notice where my head is, ladies.
To the left.
If you look to the right, it's going to hurt. It used to be that they were totally taboo. You could not put a feather into a waltz. But the rules have relaxed and now they borrow feathers into a waltz all the time. There's a rule about feathers that you can remember. All feathers always end in banjo. Anytime you hear the word feather, you can guarantee you're going to end it in banjo position. Okay? And open feet. You're not going to have your feet closed. You'll have open feet. Okay? So the last step of a feather is going to be to banjo into a crossing action so that you are in a good banjo position. So any feather you do is going to have that ending. So stop and think about when we did the open finish earlier. What did we do? 1, 2, 3. We actually did a feather finish. But like I said, years ago, they decided that you wasn't supposed to do feathers, so they put a figure into the waltz and called it something different so that they could do that action and end up in banjo. Okay? So in waltz, that exact figure is called open finish. In foxtrot, it's called feather finish. But it's the same exact thing. Okay? Yeah, it's confusing. But this particular dance is going to have a curved feather. So, feathers end up in banjo. The last step is going to be back for the ladies to banjo position. Men, you're going to take your last step is going to be a forward step, going to banjo position. What does curve mean?
Curve.
Not straight.
Not straight. Okay? When you do a curved feather, is going to turn approximately 1/4 to 3/8 usually. Okay? Curved feathers always go forward for the man. Ladies, you do whatever you have to do to get where you need to be, because it just depends on where you're starting, what you're doing. In this particular case, we're in banjo. So he's going forward and I'm going back. So the first step, forward, and he's curving. And he's curving to the right. He's taking another forward curving step, and look where my foot is, girls. Right directly behind my body. Very tight. And now he's going to finish it with a check forward to banjo. And that's your curved feather. Okay? So it's 3 forward curving steps, ending in banjo. Checking the last step is an automatic part of the figure. The check action is part of the figure. So when you do a curved feather and you're going forward on the last step of the curved feather, you can take it to the bank. The next step you're going to take, fellas, is going to be back. So be prepared. Okay? So when we do our curved feather, 3 forward curving steps. 1, 2, 3. And ladies, you're doing back, back, back. Very tiny steps because you're a banjo and he's curving and he has to go around you. Okay? Okay? Because you're going to do a feather. But this is the new dance. So, back passing change. He is going to step back. He is going to step back, and as he does that, he's going to change his frame so that he's leading with his elbow. And when he does that, look what happens to the lady's head. Now he's taking his second step, and now he's taking his third step. So the ladies are actually turning their heads to open on the back passing change. So you're actually in a semi-closed position with him backing up and her going forward. If you were to get technical about it. Now, most people do back passing change. 1, 2, 3. 3 back steps.
It's legal.
In banjo. It works. Okay? But the technical way is he's leading with his right elbow. 1, 2, 3. Okay?